Join us as we dissect the headlines, bring you exclusive interviews, and dive deep into the heart of the matter. The big conversations live here.
Join Kofi Bartels on the Morning Crossfire, weekdays 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, are you ready to be heard?
Yeah, good morning, Kofi Bartels. Hello, good morning, Kofi Bartels. Good morning, Mr. Kofi. Hello, Mr. Kofi Bartels. And morning good to all our callers and listeners.
It's your voice that drives the conversation on the Morning Crossfire.
Weekdays 5 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Your opinions, your stories, your take on the hot topics shaping our city and nation. We want to hear from you.
The president is aware that we have a security problem here.
I don't know which area you stay in Lagos. There is no light again. No. These investors, I don't know hearing that there is no light in Nigeria.
Whether somebody loots or somebody will not loot, a lot of things will happen.
Why is Nnimmo doing this to us?
Join Kofi Bartels for engaging debates, expert insights, and your voice at the heart of every discussion. Don't just listen, participate. Tune in and be part of the conversation. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, welcome back. Still the Morning Crossfire, and big thanks to Sherry for the analysis there and paper review, second part. My name is Kofi Bartels. This morning we're joined by a very notable person, and of course we're looking at one-party domination. One-party domination in Nigeria. Is it a threat to Nigeria's democracy? I know the question sounds a bit controversial, but I have my reasons for asking that question. And before we delve into the heart of the matter, please permit me to go back to the recently concluded All Progressives Congress Summit that was held recently, where the president addressed the issue. When we come back, we'll introduce our guest and we'll take his thoughts on this issue of one-party state or one-party domination, because he's part of a group that was amongst the first to raise the alarm over Nigeria's democracy regarding this issue of one-party domination. Listen to the president.
Just need to tell those ones saying one-party system is no good. It's one party ruling and driving the aspiration of Nigerians. Where do they start? You don't blame a people bailing out of a sinking ship when they have no life jacket. I'm glad of what we have, and I'm expecting more to come. That is the game. We are just halfway through the journey that began almost 24 months ago. Together, we pledge to confront Nigerian challenges head-on by rebuilding the trust.
All right, so you heard the president there say that you can't expect people to be in a sinking ship and not jump out of it. As a matter of fact, he also went on to say, sweep them all. People are leaving a sinking ship. Time to introduce our guest, who is part of a group that has been calling for, Nigerians to wake up and rise up. He is the director of Health, Executive Director of Health of the Mother Earth Foundation, which is an ecological think tank. He's a member of the steering committee of Oil Watch International. He was the chair of Friends of Earth Nigeria International from 2008 to 2012, and executive director of Nigeria's Environmental Rights Action from 1993 to 2013. He was a co-recipient of the 2010 Right Livelihood Award, also known as the Alternative Nobel Prize. It's a big global award. So he put Nigeria on the map there. In 2012, he received the Rafter Human Rights Award. In 2014, he received Nigeria's national honor as member of the Federal Republic in recognition of his environmental activism. I'm talking about none other than Nnimmo Bassey, the executive director of Health of Mother Earth Foundation. So I hope we got it right. Good morning to you, and good to have you join us again.
Good morning, Kofi. Well, you got it right, and thanks for the elaborate introduction.
Yes. We need to be putting that MFR. You don't like. You're very humble and Nigerian, but I think for now we're putting it on the fly there because it's something worth celebrating. Nnimmo Bassey, it's good to have you on the program today. We're not talking about the environment. In a way, we are talking about the environment, but we are also talking about the Nigerian political environment this time. And you are part of a group that had recently raised the alarm over a threat, to Nigeria's democracy. A coalition of 18 Nigerian activists and academics, including yourself, in April, that's last month, issuing a statement cautioning against what he called calculated and systematic effort by the Tinubu administration, by the Tinubu administration to dismantle Nigeria's democratic foundations and reduce the country to one-party state. You also accused, that's your group, the administration of using bribery, blackmail, and coercion to weaken opposition parties, claiming that political figures are defecting to the ruling party not out of conviction but out of fear and pressure. This is what the statement your group issued said, quote, "We're witnessing a disturbing trend where opposition figures are being induced to defect to the ruling party not out of conviction but out of fear and pressure through bribery, blackmail, and coercion." Nnimmo Bassey, I'm sure you've seen the speech by Pastor Moeno, whom I guess may be known to you, and all that. But the president says recently, last week, that these people are jumping from a sinking ship. What's your take on what the president has said in response to a statement from the likes of your group?
Well, thanks a lot, Kofi. I think this is an issue worth discussing continuously because Nigeria is moving in a direction that is really disturbing. The president calling any political party or system a sinking ship is, to me, an admission that something is dramatically wrong with our political system. And in fact, the sinking ship may just not be a political party or political parties. It might be the nation itself. And that would be very sad if Nigeria would be seen as a sinking ship. If Nigeria is a sinking ship, where do you jump to? You're going to jump to Togo or to Benin Republic or to Cameroon, to Niger, or into the Atlantic Ocean. And so the jumping from one party to the other is an aberration. It's something that is really very nauseating and very insulting to the electorate. People are voting for, we ought to be seen as voting for platforms. You're voting for a party because you believe this is what the party stands for. You are not voting for individuals. If individuals want to contest, they should contest as independent candidates. In the past, I know there's a kind of fluidity where the parties don't really stand out as being what they ought to be. They all appear to have the same philosophy, the same manifesto, although the letters may be different, but they appear to have the same, nothing distinctive. Remember in the past when you had if you hear of the Unity Party of Nigeria, you know that you're going to have mass housing, you're going to have free education, you're going to have health services. Now there's really no distinction, but nevertheless, we have these nomenclatures. We have the PDP and the APC, you have the Labour Party, and if you join if any politician is elected on a particular platform, the least they can do is to respect the voters, respect the vote before they jump from one platform to another. It's really very insulting and unacceptable.
All right. Interesting. If you're listening this morning, please feel free to call our numbers 0201-277-0993, 0201-277-0993. And of course, that number is available to everybody But we have a special line for our female listeners, which is 0201 465 7190. 0201 465 7190. We have Nnimmo Bassey, a Nigerian activist, executive director of Health of Mother Earth Foundation, and also a member of a coalition of 18 Nigerian activists and academics who had in April issued a statement cautioning against what they call the calculated and systemic effort by the President Bola Tinubu administration to dismantle Nigeria's democratic foundations and reduce the country to what they call one-party state. All right. Also, WhatsApp numbers are available for messages only at this point, which is 08095 97 5805. 08095 97 5805. And we also have a live stream on Facebook. Search on Nigerian 4FM. On YouTube, search on Nigerian 4FM, as well as a post on X. You can comment on the post on X as well. All right. Anyway, let's get back to the phone lines. But Nnimmo Bassey, the president has said that the biggest opposition party in the country, the People's Democratic Party, is a sinking ship. And you're asking, is the sinking ship the opposition, or is it Nigeria? Governor Moeno of Akwa Ibom State said he doesn't want to get to the run the election. After election, they will say, well, the wrong person signed his form, his nomination form, and therefore, we'll have a River State situation from 2018, or a Zamfara State situation where, he can't run. So he's going to where he can have his future assured. It's the PDP, truly, which is the opposition, the main opposition party in Nigeria. The rest are probably just, floating around. Is the PDP truly not a sinking ship? Even the Labour Party also itself has issues.
Kofi, that is a question that is, we could answer it in either way. We could run to Abeokuta instead of going to Enugu in pursuit of the answer to that question. But, the issue is not whether a party is a sinking. If a party is a sinking party, it is the party's duty to rebuild itself, not for players and that people elected on that platform to jump off ship and then look for. I heard the speech by Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and that was very disturbing because a man that I respect, I've always had some respect for him, is what he's doing in the state. But for that kind of statement that he would not only jump off the PDP but also expect his commissioners to go with him or they will get fired, that kind of threat, it calls to question who are the politicians loyal to. Are they loyal to Nigeria, or that loyal to their godfathers, or to those who are pulling the strings in the background? One of the challenges, one of the big problems that is very worrisome is the kind of, these are not people decamping once in a while. Somebody here that somebody decamped. We are seeing decamping en masse. A whole state governor, like what happened in Delta State, the state governor, the deputy governor, the House of Assembly, the local government, there's something going on. This is not normal. It's not ordinary. But as we say.
So, Nnimmo, is that not democracy at play, where people are free to choose where they belong, where people are free to vote for who they want to vote for?
That is what you just said. People are free to vote for who they want to vote for. But once you're elected, if you don't like the platform on which you're elected, you should go and apologize to the electorate. That, look, I'm sorry you voted for me on this platform. I'm no longer going to that platform, or I'm no longer interested in office. But for people to assume that the electorate don't matter, that those who voted for it don't matter, it's like, say, the next election, don't bother to come out to vote. We can just decide how many votes each person got, and then we share the offices. Why should I vote if the person I'm voting for on a political platform, I'm not sure that tomorrow he will remain on that platform? It's a way of, I think it's a total disregard of political dynamics and the politics itself, that people should choose who to vote for. And we are not choosing individuals, we are voting for platforms. Although the individuals do matter, but principally, people are coming and we're voting on the symbol, not the passport photograph of any politician. People are voting against party symbols. That is symbolic enough. And for politicians to think that they can just disregard the platform on which they're coming, that is not politics. I think this is something else. It's a mafia situation, and we are really disturbed. It doesn't show us that the struggle against military dictatorship was worth it. if you have a politician who disregard the people and who just do whatever they want to do. This is extremely disturbing and unacceptable.
All right. Interesting. The president at that APC Renewable Agenda Summit, which was held at the State House Conference Center last week, Thursday, May 22, also said that, there's freedom of association and freedom of movement in the Nigerian constitution. I'm sure you follow that. And that you can't expect people to stay where they don't want to stay. Should we rather be looking at amending the Nigerian constitution to ensure that if you are moving from party A to party B, you leave your seat? You leave your seat and then is it something that we should be focusing on? Because the president says there's freedom of association.
Well, there's also freedom of speech, but we know that a lot of people don't enjoy that freedom. As Idi Amin said, or somebody attributed to Idi Amin, freedom of speech may exist, but freedom after the speech, nobody guarantees it. That sounds like a joke, but freedom of association, well, that is guaranteed in the Constitution, but it doesn't mean freedom to jump from one platform, from one party to another, after being elected on that platform. So it's something that needs to be included in the Nigerian Constitution, underlined. It should be in bold print, maybe on page 2. That look, if you're elected, since the politicians are hard of hearing, and they're reasoning in a very strange way, if you're elected as an APC governor under the platform of APC, the moment you want to shift to Labour Party while you are still in office, you should say goodbye to that seat. It's very strange. This has become a Nigerian sickness. And things are going wrong in so many dimensions in this country, and we have to begin to ask the right questions and ensure that those who are elected know that they don't assume the sovereignty of the people. They are supposed to serve the people. They're supposed to listen to the people. They're supposed to work in the interest of the people and understand that we also have a right to withdraw those who were voted, to recall them from those offices. They have to come down from the high horses and see what is going on the grassroots.
Interesting. For those of you listening, do you believe Nigeria is becoming a one-party domination, or do you believe that Nigeria is becoming a one-party state? We have a caller coming through. 99.3. Good morning.
Kofi Bartels, good morning.
Welcome. Emeka and Okota, please go straight on.
Yes, and good morning to the guests. You see, in support of the last submission, that we need to amend our laws. Without amending our laws, to ensure that anybody that becomes or decides to move from one party to the other loses a seat, it will continue to have this discussion because our politicians are not interested. They don't practice politics of ideology. It's not about ideology. It's about selfish interest, personal interest, so they can stay as close as they can be to the cookie jar. You know that this decampment is not ordinary. There is something, there's an underlying current playing out here. Right. And this is to favor them in 2027, but it's up to the electorate as well, either to use the recall process or to ensure that the laws are amended. The moment we decamp, you lose that seat. That's the only way we can tame these politicians.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you calling in. Do we have another call coming through? 99.3. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kofi.
Welcome. Mazude, welcome. Please go on.
Yes, sir. Kofi, former aviation minister, he said, maybe I think around 2014, I don't know, he moved to APC from PDP. Then from APC, he come back again to PDP. So journalists asked him, why do you come back to PDP? He said there is a secret in APC, that if you are a Christian, you will never know exactly what is happening in that very place. They will bench you somewhere. So that is the reason why he comes back. So what is happening now may not be a surprise. That is what is they are keeping as a secret then. I don't know, because they want to make Nigeria one-party system. Right. I am sure, because I listened to that very interview, either this radio station or another radio station.
Thank you.
That is it.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate calling in. All right, we'll take one more call before we go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue with our guest. 99.3, good morning. Hello, are you there? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, Nnimmo, Bassey, you said you know something is okay. We have this call coming through. I don't know what to think of then. Let's just I'll come back to you, sir. 99.3. You don't have too much time. Please go straight to the point.
Yes, good morning. This is Adekunle from Agege.
Very quickly, please.
Yeah, great show. Well, it's a shame that the way things are now, it seems Nigeria is a one-party system. And they are pushing, but allegedly, they are pushing for a single religious state. And with the way things are going, like the previous caller said, we need electoral reform so that we can flow properly and our votes can count. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so you're talking about electoral reform. We'll return after a break and we'll continue our conversation with Nnimmo Bassey of Health of Mother Earth Foundation right here on the Morning Crossfire. Please stay with us. Good morning.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Start your children's day with a great taste of Ovaltine, enriched with multi-nourishment, calcium, malt, and vitamin B12 to support learning and playtime. Ovaltine, smart choice for smart kids.
Remember the name Arenas Plus. When malaria strikes, Arenas Plus. Remember the name Arenas Plus. When you feeling down, Arenas Plus.
Arenax Plus is the name to remember when you need to beat malaria with ease. Arenax Plus is a combination of artemether and lumenfantrine and is effective in the treatment of malaria in adults and children. So the next time malaria strikes, remember the name. Arenax Plus beats malaria with ease.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see a doctor.
Available in pharmacies near you. Arenax Plus is a quality product from Swiffer.
Ever since Grandpa Swag retired, he's gotten quite active. You might find him making jollof rice for the family, or doing 50 push-ups a day, or busting some moves on TikTok, or going shopping with his favorite grandson. He's also experimenting new things like pairing Ankara trousers with a white shirt and a cool pair of sunglasses.
Oh shit, keep that, Grandpa's life. We believe that the fun begins at retirement. That's why Hares Life has designed a Hares annuity plan, a pension plan that pays you a monthly income for as long as you live. This way, you can enjoy retirement and experience life all over again. For this and other plans, visit www.hairsinsurancegroup.com. That is HEIRS, or call 0700 434 7754 to get started.
Mama, if you see how to screw up that toilet, it clean.
If it look clean, but if you no use Hypo toilet cleaner, germs go still yakpa.
No gree for germs. Protect your toilets every day with Hypo toilet cleaner. Hypo.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development and the care they need with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics to help your child's digestion and development, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. And all of these work together to support your child's development and growth today and tomorrow. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Success is like a big mansion. You only see the magnificent edifice, not the strong foundation that holds it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done and funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as Value Card, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com.
Unified Payments, unifying businesses for people.
Hello, Mrs. Martins.
Yes. Oh, Mrs. Johnson, how may I help you?
Junior's body temperature is high and he's complaining about headaches and body aches.
Not to worry. Get Bruston and suspension.
Okay, ma. I'll call you back.
Bruston and Suspension for Children is a sweet-tasting brand of ibuprofen which provides relief against toothache, pains, and fever in children after 30 minutes.
Hello, ma. Oh, Junior, stop that.
Is everything okay, Mrs. Johnson?
Yes, ma. Junior is fine now. In fact, Junior, sorry, ma. I'll call you back.
Bruston and Suspension for Children. Always take the product after meal. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor. A quality product from Bassey.
Oh, what did they happen now? No bonus for all my line. No panic, as MTN don't carry better gist come. Every 6 minutes you talk, MTN go dash you 3 extra minutes. Fiam to enter MTN better gist. Dial *123 *2 *1 hash or text BG to 312. T and C's apply.
He done of trading himself. James, hello.
Susan, I beg. Say the wine me.
For where? You who no longer depend solely on your salary.
So you people trade and don't carry us along in this office, Abby? Jerry, now you they talk like this? Who doesn't want an extra stream of income? But I'm still looking for better trading conditions, I beg. Fast execution of my trades and possibly an account where swap no go carry all my profits where I no know.
Guy, HFM.com.
For me, I wouldn't mind better spreads at all, and it won't be a bad idea to be able to make withdrawals in a flash.
All we want is transparency and great customer service.
Guys, I said HFM.com.
Which one is HFM.com again?
Switch to HFM today to enjoy ultra-fast execution, 1 to 2,000 leverage, tight spreads, swap-free, and more.
Guy, show us the way now.
Wait, are you sure deposits and withdrawals are sharp?
I said
HFM.com.
Visit www.hfm.com. HFM, online trading at its finest.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. There's no threat there's nothing like one party state. Those who are coming to the APC are coming because they are jumping from a sinking ship. Sweep them. As words of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the APC Renewed Hope Agenda Summit, which held last week, May 22, in the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. I guess this morning is Executive Director, Health of Mother Earth Foundation, Mr. Nnimmo Bassey, MFR. Good to have you on the program, sir. Is one-party domination a threat to Nigeria's democracy? Please call the number 0201-277-0993, 0201-277-0993, and please call for female listeners who cannot get through to us on that line. Please call 0201-465-7190, 0201-465-7190. We're streaming on YouTube. I'm looking out for your comments. We're streaming on Facebook. I'm looking out for your comments as well. We're streaming on those two platforms, and of course we have a post on X. Also looking out for your comments. Sir, you said that this is not ordinary. I think one of our callers also, Emeka, said something doesn't look normal or about what's happening. What do you think is at play? Since you're saying what's happening is not ordinary, it's not normal. What do you think is happening?
Well, I think when we say that what is going on is not normal, so many things around us prove to show that a lot of things have been orchestrated, they're being designed, they're deliberate, intentional, and just like you have environmental pollution, we're having environmental political environment pollution, and pollution is hardly systemic. Pollution is hardly accidental. We see, for example, we see a situation where we have a problem with separation of powers in this nation. To say that we have the executive, we have the legislature, we have the judiciary, and even the media. If we want to add the media as another layer of governance in the country, there was a time when Nigerians would go to court and they would be sure that they're going to get things sorted out. There was a time that the media would stand up and really fight for democracy in this nation. There was a time that the legislature would also sometimes turn down the request of the executive. But we're seeing a situation where rules are amended even without being announced. For example, the approval of the state of emergency in Rivers State was done by voice vote, and where you couldn't really count how many voices you heard, or which was louder, it would just depend on who shouted loudest. So we have a lot of things that are strange in this country, and anybody who thinks that things are normal would have to think again.
You think that there's a state capture?
Well, I think those who are jumping ship if you may call that. Either there was no ship at all, they were just playing with us, they just take us for a ride. And when people do what they're doing right now in the manner that we're seeing it happening, it simply just means that the disregard for the electorate is not accidental, it's systemic, and these guys are not serious about governance. They're just there for themselves. They care for their self-preservation. They're building their own palaces. They're building their citadels. They're not building the nation. And so this is the rot in the nation. The broken political system is not accidental, it's systemic, it's in the mindset of politicians. And unless we change these people and change our own mindset, their own mindset, we're going to be moving around in circles.
I can't fathom a situation where a Republican will win an election in the United States of America and then move the power of be it a senatorial seat, mayorship, a state governorship, even the presidency of America to the opposing party known as the Democratic Party. I can't fathom that a Democrat will win an election in any election in America will take that power and move it to the Republican Party. I can't fathom that the a Tory candidate to win an election in Britain and then move that power to the Labour Party, from the Conservatives. I can't fathom. Why do you think the parties at play, for instance, in Delta State is the PDP, in Akwa Ibom State is the PDP, in Cross River State it was PDP to APC? Why do you think the political parties seem to be powerless and not doing anything to keep the power that they won, that was won campaigning with their logo?
I think, this is a research that our researchers, social scientists would have to invest energy in to find out what is underlying current. Why are these folks jumping from PDP to APC or from whatever party to another one, from Labour Party to APC and so on and so forth? The APC may be slapping themselves on the back that they're achieving a big victory. But you can't have all kinds of fellows in your bedroom and believe that things are normal. And so it could be a situation, and this is why we're worried, because what is going on will just show to Nigeria that political parties don't mean anything, that Nigeria don't have a reason to go to the vote in 2027, that politicians will always do what they want to do, and that it will just rubbish the whole democratic experiment in this nation. You mentioned examples of the United States. I know strange things are happening in the United States at this time, but even then, no matter how strange those things are, the kind of things that were never expected to happen before, it hasn't gotten to the stage where somebody will be voted on one party and is in office and now comes to the nation and say, I'm jumping here. Maybe Donald Trump will come and say, elected me as a Republican, but I've seen a big, beautiful way to run to jump to Democratic.
That's what he would have said. He would have said big, beautiful, actually.
Big, beautiful, powerful, most important.
But the likes of your group, I'm sure we have the likes of Chidio Ninkalu and others there. You and other groups are making more noise than PDP, than Labour Party, whose members are moving. Why are these opposition parties not fighting to say, no, we want our seats retained, we want our power retained? You can't take power from us that was given to us in a state and move it to another party. Why are Nigerians shouting more than the parties who are losing the power, sir?
Good question. And you have to look at the history of these parties and their candidates that they put forward to contest. Many of them have been members of multiple parties in the past. Many of the people in office right now, they've been moving from one party to another, so they don't really see anything wrong, and they wouldn't want to criticize themselves. But I think it's a time for sober reflection for Nigerians concerning 2027. Are we going to continue to encourage this kind of nonsense, or are we going to say, no, enough is enough? This is a major thing, not really to find out. Which of the politicians has not, many of them have been in other parties. We saw what happened. The main opposition candidate in the last election was the Labour Party candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. Now, how did he get into the Labour Party? He was in PDP. And suddenly he moved to that party. So when this kind of shifts happen on the basis of expedient political calculations, the roots are not deep. When the roots are not deep, these politicians are really blown by any kind of wind that comes. But the unfortunate thing is that the Nigerian people and the nation will suffer for it.
Interesting. The Nigerian people and the nation will suffer for it. I will come back to our guest. We have next listener. 99.3. Good morning. Hello. Oh, it seems we've lost audio connection with you. Please call back 02012777093 and 02014657190 for our female listeners. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, you have to turn the radio.
This is Bartels.
Oh, Bassey, it's not working. Please check your connection and call back. All right, let's go to the next listener. 99.3. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, location, and contribution.
What I see all these people, the campaign is because of the sin they commit. Most of them, like Delta State government and I don't know whether I would call this man, the other one from Western Akwara Happy also. The money they convert to be their own, which EFCC arrested them. Once you decamp, according to Adamo Shomole, your sin will be forgiven. That is why they are decamping, to where I understand. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Sir, with this issue of, your group talked about bribery, you mentioned coercion and all that. Should Nigerians even be worried that the politicians who may have questions to answer are doing the expedient thing to protect themselves? Because these are not the people who may be the answer that Nigeria needs.
What is happening, as we all know, is very disturbing. And the ruling party is happy that this is going on because they see themselves being stronger. And they also believe that this is a counterpoint to the coalition that is building of the opposition. We see also a lot of movements in the other parties trying to come together and forge a common front towards the election. And so the APC also feels that this is their time also to concentrate their power and break the opposition. So now I believe that the shame is on those who allow themselves to be dragged from one party to the other after they've been elected on the platform of a particular party. I heard somebody, I think it's governor of Akwa Ibom State, I don't know whether that is true, but he said if when you want to fly from one point to the other, it doesn't matter what the label is on the aircraft. What matters is what the quality of the engine is. I think we have been very ingenious in doing this. So I wouldn't sit inside an aircraft and then you suddenly change the label. Maybe I'm sitting there waiting for my seatbelt, waiting for the flight to take off, and somebody's busy spraying a new label on the aircraft. No, that would not be.
Is it Nigeria Air? Maybe it's Nigeria Air.
I mean, you arrive at your destination. So which flight did you take? I don't care which flight brought me. I just know that I'm here. That is crazy.
What do you think about, now that you've gone there? So let's just get to that question about the National Political Council. By the way, what is your group called? Do you have a name for it? Yeah. Mr. Bassey.
Sorry, I lost you there.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I was asking, what do you think about the National Political Consultative Group, which consists of the likes of Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Dati Baba Ahmed, Rotimi Amechi, Donald Duka here is also there. Who else? Professor Jerry Ghana is there. Raul Faragbe is there. Formerly of APC. Who else? Okay, I mentioned Rotimi Amechi. Babache Lau, formerly of APC, is also there. I think Erufai, formerly of APC, is also there as well. What do you think of this anti-Tinubu coalition? Called the National...
What you have, if they frame themselves as anti-Tinubu coalition, I think that's already a mistake.
No.
We need a coalition that will give us...
Yeah, that's from me.
That's how you frame it.
Yeah, but they're called...
That is basically...
Please go on, sir. Sorry.
That's basically the way many people perceive them to. They look just looking for... It's not enough to set for a coalition to unseat one politician from office. we need to see a clear program for Nigeria. What is that coalition bringing to the table? How would they do things differently than what they've done individually when they were in various parties? What is going to be, what's the change that is coming? Why should Nigerians take them serious? They really have a lot of work to do. And I don't really personally see anything wrong with people forging new alignments in terms of, as far as they are not doing that as a means of jumping from one party to the other. The problem we're seeing is a situation where a man or a woman has been elected on a particular platform, and then midstream you disregard those who voted for you, and next time you want them to vote for you. And when they vote for you next time, they don't even know where you're going to end after 1 year. And then they just left. It's a very, very exasperating situation for voters. And I don't know what to do with my voters card personally. Because if I voted for you and then suddenly you are playing all these games, I think I would be stupid to go back to vote for you.
Will your group, the of 18 academics and activists, will your group join this national political consultative group? You know, if it manages that they are able to pull together the major political personalities that seem to have support to be able to take on the APC?
Well, the group that they issued the statements, when NGOs issue statements, and academics and those who are really looking at the interests of the nation not from a partisan level, but are interested in what's going on in the political terrain in the country. It's not because we want to support any particular political party. We are not such a platform that could be utilized or adopted for purpose of canvassing for votes. So this issue doesn't arise at all.
Okay, so I mean, because the purpose is to ensure that one party does not dominate, you know, and Atiku Abubakar came second in the last election. Peter Obi came third. Dati Ahmed was his running mate. We have the likes of El-Rufai, who has considerable support in Sokoto State. Maybe if Kwankwaso comes in that Kano State, you have Amechi, who has considerable support in River State, Niger Delta. Donald Duke, Cross River State. So, I mean, what else can we do if not to support such a coalition?
Well, Kofi, right now we don't know what that coalition wants to do. Neither do we know who they are promoting for what level of elective office. So there's still a long way to go before we can get that clarity, and before Nigerians can get that clarity and decide where they're going to pitch their tent. So it's a journey. We're on a journey, but what we're concerned about is that the signposts, the milestones we're seeing along the way, is very disturbing.
Okay. So your group is not part of that coalition as it stands right now?
No, not as a group. Maybe individuals who may be part of APC or part of the any coalition, it could be, but not the group that's issued the statement you are referencing. Is not a group that is pitching a tent as a group in any kind of formation.
Okay, all right. Do you think, because the debate now is over whether, you know, all these, let's call it anti-Tinubu, let me say opposition coalition, let's call it that, should form a new party, or whether they should, you know, join an already existing party and use that as a platform? What do you think about that debate? What do you think they should do?
I think it's a healthy debate, and we need more voices to come into that debate. It's not a time to be silent at all in this nation. I think we need to have coordinated positions, and you know, if there are a lot of political parties in Nigeria, we just hear about 3 most of the time. All the parties should go back, dust their manifestos, and reach out to Nigerians for Nigerians to know exactly what they stand for, and of course, canvass for support and for people to come into those formations. People shouldn't just be those who are playing out in the dominant political system. Just find is the easy way out. That if you are in this particular party, you stand a higher chance of being elected into office. But we should be looking at who can do things different. And we certainly need different platforms that can show Nigerians they're going to do things different. Platform that can show Nigerians that Nigerians have a right to safe, clean water, that they have a right to go to bed with at least one meal in their belly, that they should have a right to have a roof over their head. We need politicians parties who would come and say, look, no matter what, education must be free to a certain level. And so we need to see those who can give us safe food, who say, look, we're going to consider what is in the best interest of the majority of Nigerians. We're not just going to look at what we can do, what kind of cars we're going to ride, how many political aids we're going to have.
All right. I don't know about the PDP, but if you talk about these welfarist policies, that sounds a bit like Labour Party.
Well,
you laugh.
You
laugh.
No, I'm not laughing at the party. I'm laughing at the notion that we already have very cogent positions. Parties that have those cogent positions that are welfarist, that cares about the poor, cares about the ordinary Nigerians, let them publicize those positions and convince us that they will implement them. Not those who are elected on the back of one popular politician or the back of one platform. They suddenly, once they get into office, they become kings and emperors.
What about AAC? I think Shure seems to be an activist like yourself. Probably would have that welfarist mindset.
Definitely, I believe that Shure would have a good program for Nigerians. He has very clear ideas about what the right to safe environment is and where people have the right to life. Without a safe environment, I know at the beginning you said we talk about environment most of the time, but this is about political environment. Without a safe environment, politics means nothing. If the life expectancy of Nigerians keeps declining, what are we going? Where are we going? When we talk about Africa has a huge youth population, and this is the advantage of the continent. What happens to the old generation, to the older people? How old would the young people live? This is the question about life expectancy. It's not about how to utilize the youthful energy we have. Would the youth ever become elders? This is the critical question. Now we need politicians who can think beyond just say we can use the youth to get this, whereas the youth will never become adults or elders.
All right. We have a call coming through 99.3. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Please
good morning to our guests.
Thank you.
You see, our political, like, don't you understand? We are at gunpoint. That either you or...
I'm sorry, the network isn't clear. Sorry about that. Please call back. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi. Good morning to you and your guests.
All
This is Oboli calling from the corridor.
Welcome.
To your guest now this morning, do you find this breed of politicians we have who are pursuing their self-interest, globetrotting here and they're hopping like kangaroos left and right from one party to the other, do you think we find them worthy to carry the welfarist agenda of the citizens at heart presently?
Right.
Because I hear a one-party state, one-party domination, 6.5 dozen is almost the same thing. So in your idea or in your mindset to your guest now, does he really think that this so-called breed that we have right now are really intentional about leading Nigerians aright, or they are just there to make sure their cash alert is steady? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. That's the last question call we're having. Yes, sir.
I think that's a very good question. Thank you for asking that question. I will need to have clarity about that. We must all express that. I mean, personally, I'm grossly disappointed by the present class of politicians and what they're doing. And there are few of them that you could trust to actually think about the people, but many of them are in politics because it appears to be the most lucrative business in the country at this moment. And so if you want to be comfortable, forget about everyone else and just line your pocket, getting elected into office seems to be the best investment you could make. So in a way, I wouldn't, on a blanket level, I wouldn't expect the current crop of politicians to suddenly begin to do pro-people policies and programs that would really give Nigeria a different direction from where we are going. The trajectory and what we're seeing is very, very disappointing, and we need a reset of the system. Yeah. So we need new formations, we need more active, the electorate should get more active, join these parties, and challenge those who are in the reins of power in those parties. We have to democratize politics in this nation.
We have to democratize politics in this nation. It's an irony that we say we're running a democracy, but we're still talking about democratizing politics, which means that politics is really not truly a democracy. Probably it's an Hollywood movie we are acting in the name of democracy. Nnimmo Bassey, we have to go. Thank you very much. It's refreshing to talk to you about politics this time around. Maybe next time we'll talk about the environment. Nnimmo Bassey is MFR as Executive Director of Health of Mother Earth Foundation. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Kofi. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
A luta continua.
Victoria Aseta.
All right. Let's go for a break. We'll be right back. I had to add that because an activist. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.